So these toppers basically were writing into pointers. Mainly you will find that general studies answers are in points. If the same thing was written in paragraph, right now this much words would have been consumed in writing just one idea. Yes, of course you can use flowcharts, but the point is that your answer should be very fair. It should not look like, you can say, a rough work or the brainstorming session. It should look like a proper formal presentation. In one of the optional copy you will find the topper is using the paragraph format. Reason, it is optional. You have to establish something, there is some argument. So some places you can definitely go for paragraph, but your default setting should be what? Should be pointers. Hello students and welcome to PW OnlyIAS. So recently there was a question on Telegram. There's a student Mukesh who basically started answer writing. He is basically, you can say, a beginner and just started answer writing, and he had a doubt while writing answer. Okay, I can think about introduction and all, but while writing answer, what is better, paragraph or points? So let's address this issue, because I believe a lot of the beginner students, right now, they believe, and even after you reach that intermediate stage and all, still you are in this dilemma that whether you should go for points or paragraph. So let's talk about this. UPSC answer, right? An answer. What is better? Should you go for paragraph or should we be writing the answer in pointers? Points. Yeah. So first of all, let's understand what is the demand of UPSC. UPSC expects that your answer has clarity, your answer has structure, your answer has multi-dimensional points. Right now, you need to think about all the dimensions from which that question can be thought of. Yes, so that multi-dimension is something which will help you write more points, more arguments. But what is the better way? Now, before we get into paragraph and this pointer discussion, right, we must also understand that UPSC answer writing also comes with one more thing, that is word limit. Word limit. Right, now either you are supposed to write in, let's say, 150 words or in general 250 words. Right, and in any case, in both the cases, you realize, for example, there are 250 words. You can only write, let's say, 12 statements, right? And here you can write like 7 statements. That's it. And if you use paragraph, right, now this statement, right, and these statements cannot be increased. Yes. So somewhere you are bound by the word limits. And once you start writing in the paragraph, right, now you will have to complete those statements, and you will be spending more words so that that particular argument makes sense. Right now, so somewhere this word limit is, you can say, you can say is tougher to adhere when you are writing into paragraph. Paragraph, in some cases, definitely paragraph helps you. For example, let's say you have to provide some argument, you have to establish a tone in the answer, right? Now you are basically giving some synthesis. In that case, it is fine to use paragraph. But otherwise, or let's say you are writing introduction. So for introduction and conclusion, for optionals, where you have a lot of words and you want to establish something, right? So in that cases, or in these cases, your paragraph works wonders, right? And that is great. But otherwise, if you realize pointers will require lesser words, and you will be able to provide more, you can say, content, more stats, without worrying about, for the completion of statement you will have to spend more words. So suppose if you're writing a complete statement, you are spending, let's say, 20 words, right? In one statement, let's say on average we spend like 20 words. So in one complete statement you are spending 20 words over here, but in that one statement it will be like 1 point only. But if you use points, then you realize in 20 words maybe you will be able to give 2 pointers. So definitely 2 points, which is more important. So by default, you should always be inclined towards writing your answer in points. Point is much better. Point is much better because you can give multiple dimensions. You can give a lot of examples. You can use your content very judiciously when you are giving points. While writing in paragraph, a lot of time you will have to compromise on the content. A lot of times you will have to let go the content. Maybe you still know the answer, but you will have to stay backward. You'll have to take a step back and let the content go because you don't have enough space. So that way pointers are much better. But you must also understand that if you don't have, there will be definitely some questions where you don't have much knowledge, where you don't have a lot of points to write. And in that case, I suggest ki, if there is, let's say, you have in the case of lack of content, paragraph is suggested because then you can spend extra words, forming the whole sentence, emphasizing on the same argument again and again. Then that makes sense. In some of the answers, definitely, where you lack content, you can use the paragraph technique. Otherwise, pointers are much better. But now the question arises, do toppers also use this? So let me show you some topper copy. Right now, so in our Srijan test series, there were a lot of students who got selected. So these toppers basically were writing into pointers. Mainly, you will find that general studies answers are in points. Right now, so yes, so this is one of the copy where you find that the heading is potential in rural areas, and all the points are given along with the data and all. If the same thing was written in paragraph, right now, this much words would have been consumed in writing just one idea. That could have been disastrous. Yes, so that could have been disastrous, and it is better to write in points, right? So topper do prefer pointers only. Let me show you one more copy. Right, so this one. Yeah, yeah, like this one. So my recommendation is ki it is better to use pointers if it is possible, but please refer to this answer sheet, again a topper answer sheet. You'll realize it's a very fair work. It should not ever look like a rough work. It should not look like, and you were asking ki whether you can use flowcharts. Yes, of course you can use flowcharts, but the point is ki your answer should be very fair. It should not look like, you can say, a rough work or the brainstorming session. It should look like a proper formal presentation. That is something you need to maintain. And the pointer looks much better. You can add more points. Similarly, like this one, this is again a topper copy where the solution is being provided in points: first point, second point, third point. This is easy to evaluate. This is easier to write. You will be having, structure in the answer. You will have clarity in the answer, and every points will be a separate dimension. And that is how you can cover all the dimensions as well. So that way the pointers prove to be much better and should be relied upon. Again, this is optional copy. In one of the optional copy, you will find the topper is using the paragraph format. Reason it is optional, you have to establish something, there is some argument, right? And that way you need complete statements to establish your argument. So in some cases, definitely like optionals and all, or essay cannot be pointers. Essay has to be your proper paragraph, right? So in such places you can definitely go for paragraph. Yes, so if it is ethics or essay where you have to establish something, right, you need complete paragraph to establish your argument, that is fine. So some places you can definitely go for paragraph, but your default setting should be what? Should be pointers. So yes, I hope you got the point, and please follow this in your answer writing. Let me know in comments if there is any other doubt which you want us to take. Okay, till then, bye bye, take care, and Jai Hind.